So I am going to change up my weight loss plan for this year, and I want to tell you about it. All right, let's go. Welcome to the Overweighted Podcast, where we get real about the struggles of being obese and needing to lose a whole lot of weight. My name's Malaika. I'm your host, weight loss mentor and coach. Join me on my personal weight loss journey to lose about 200 pounds, and as I share my very real experiences, plus some simple, successful, and sustainable weight loss tips and mindset shifts so that we can mark lose weight off of our to-do list for good. So I think it's a good idea to review the plans that you have for your weight loss, to really look at them and see if what you're doing is working for you. And in the last episode, I gave you 5 questions that you could ask yourself, and it will really help you to sit down and look at what worked and what didn't work for you in the last year and help you to make up a plan for moving forward. And I have 3 things that I'm planning on doing differently this year for my weight loss plan. And most of it is pretty much going to stay the same, but there are some things that I'm doing differently, and I wanted to talk about it. And by the way, if you haven't joined us for the One Thing Challenge, you can still jump into the challenge. We just started this week. But if you want to do something different, if you want to be more consistent, have someone holding you accountable and encouraging you through the first 90 days of this year so that it can help you to stick to the weight loss plan that you have for yourself and probably help you to stick with it a little bit longer than you may have in the past, then I want to encourage you to join us for the One Thing Challenge. You can join us at malaikaburley.com/one thing. Again, it's malaikaburley.com/one thing. I would love to have you in there and love for you to be a part of that community. All right, so 3 things that I'm going to be doing differently for my weight loss journey in this year. So the first thing that I'm planning on doing is exercising 3 times a week. So I want to make sure I'm exercising 3 times a week. And this may come as a shock to some of you if you know this, that I am a group fitness instructor. So yes, I'm an exercise instructor, and I do not even exercise 3 times a week at this point in my journey. I actually don't even really like exercise, which is part of the reason that I teach dance fitness classes for the type of exercise that I do, because it doesn't really feel like exercise. And so I typically only exercise on those days that I have my exercise class, or on days that maybe I'm making up choreography for the exercise class. So I really don't get the amount of exercise that we should be getting. It's really good to get exercise 5 times a week, 30 minutes a day, but I don't even do 3 times a week. So that's where I'm going to start. And I'm going to focus on getting up to the point where I am exercising regularly 3 times a week, regardless if I have class or not. So that is the first thing that I'm going to do differently in 2023. The second thing that I'm going to do differently this year is I'm going to focus on eating healthier options. So I'm going to focus on eating healthier options. So you may have heard me mention before that I lose weight by a calorie deficit. And so I track my calories and make sure that I'm in a deficit so that I can lose weight. So that really means that I can pretty much eat anything, and if I'm in a deficit, then I'm going to have some weight loss. Now, every calorie is not created equal, so the calories that we get from healthier food may act differently in our bodies than the calories that we get from not so healthy food. But in general, if you are in a calorie deficit, you will probably still lose weight. And that's what I've been doing this weight loss journey. And so what I want to do this year is focus on making sure the majority of the calories that I'm eating are healthier options. And so not only is that going to help me to continue to lose the weight because I'm in the calorie deficit, but also it's just going to help me to feel better. I feel really good right now on my weight loss journey. And at this point, I've lost over 80 pounds, but I feel great. I have lots of energy. I actually want to move my body more nowadays, but I know that by fueling my body with healthier things, I'm going to feel even better than I do right now. So I want to focus on eating healthier options this year. And with that, this is kind of a part B to this, that I want to limit fast food to only 2 times a month maximum. And in the past, we have eaten fast food multiple times throughout the week. And one of my goals last year, and one of the things that I wanted to do different last year, was eat fast food less than what we had been doing before. And we actually did do that. We weren't eating it as often as we were the year prior. But at the end of last year, I really challenged myself to not eat fast food for about 40 days when we were doing the Christ Over Cookies challenge. And what I found when I came out of that challenge is that I wasn't really craving fast food anymore, and I didn't really care anymore if I had it or not. So just by breaking that habit, I found that I didn't feel that I needed it that much anymore. And so what I wanted to do this year is limit the fast food to 2 times a month max. And the reason I'm doing 2 times a month is because right now with my church, every other week we go to service in person every other week. And so on those particular days, that'll be the days where we go out to eating and grab something on our way home. So that way we can have it on those days. And also this is going to help me with my budget because I'm not spending so much money on the fast foods. But if someone wants to take us out to eat, then they can pay for it and we can go out, and that can be over our 2 times. But for the majority of the time, we will limit the fast food to 2 times a month. And really, I mean eating out in general. So not just fast food, eating out in general, but mainly the fast food is what I'm focusing on, and making sure that we only have fast food 2 times a month going forward. And the third thing that I want to do differently this year, like I mentioned, I eat in a calorie deficit and I track my calories. And so I have a range that I try to eat in as far as my calories. And I did do a video on my YouTube channel where I showed how I came up with my calorie range. So you can feel free to go and watch that video. And that way you can see how I calculate that and see if that's something that you might want to implement for your weight loss journey. And my YouTube channel is just under my name, Malaika Burley, and I will make sure to link to it in the show notes as well. But one of the things I want to do now going forward for this year is really eat according to when I feel hungry. So not focusing so much on making sure I'm within my calorie range, but focusing more on, well, am I hungry or not? And I'm not trying to do intuitive eating or anything like that, but just really learning my body and learning the cues and learning to eat when I'm hungry. So not just eating because I have extra calories left, and so I want to make sure I eat those calories. Or if I find myself hungry, but I don't have any calories left, not eating because I don't want to go over my calories. I really want to honor my body and serve it. And so I want to start learning to listen to those cues. And like I said, eating when I'm hungry, not eating when I'm not hungry, regardless if I have extra calories or not. So that is the third thing that I plan on doing differently this year. So 1, getting that exercise in at least 3 times a week. 2, making sure that I'm focusing on eating healthier options so that the majority of my calories come from healthier foods. And 3, eating according to when I feel hungry, or not eating when I'm not really hungry. So that's what I'm doing. I hope that is helpful for you and helps you to maybe come up with some things that you want to do this year for your weight loss journey. And if you are a woman who has over 50 pounds to lose and maybe would just like some encouragement and some weight loss tips, some mindset shifts, and a community, then feel free to join us inside of Transformation Tribe. You can join us in there at malaikaburley.com/network. It's a free community and we would love to have you in there. So I hope I get to see you and support you throughout this year. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you got any value out of this or something just really resonated with you, can you do me a favor and leave a review? It helps others find the show so that it could help them too. Also, I'd love to connect with you on other platforms. I'm Malaika Burley on IG and YouTube. And go grab my free webinar, The 5 Keys to Simple, Successful, and Sustainable Weight Loss at malaikaburley.com. And of course, all of those links are in the show notes. Thanks again and have a blessed day.